In the previous video, we have seen what are Java input output operations and also directory and file path operations. So this is completed. In this video, we will see an example on Java file and directory path operations. So what are directory and file path operations? Directory and file path operations are the operations other than reading and writing the files. For example, if you want to see if a particular directory or file is a directory or it's a file, or if you want to find out if a directory or file exists, these are all directory and file path operations. So let us see an example on this one. I am creating a new package first, and the package name is file operations. So under the file operations, I am creating a class directory file operations, and I am using the main method. Click on finish. So what I will be doing is, I have created a folder file operations under Selenium course. So in this folder, what I will do is, I will first try if there is a folder test and if there is a file sample.txt in text folder. If there is no folder or file, then we will create a folder and a file, and then we will see other methods. So first we have to access the folder. Let's say some test folder is there here. So first we have to access the folder. So for that one, what we have to do is, we have to create an object for file class. This file class is nothing but it stores the path to the directories or files. So let's create an object for the test directory and also sample.txt file paths. So here what I will do is, first I will create an object for file. So file, the object name is file itself. File is equal to new file of, and here I have to give the path. So in Java, what we will do is, we have to give a double backslash. Okay, so backslash, then the folder name Selenium course. So if you see this one, so let's copy this one and we will change this one. Okay, so I have copied this one and I am putting it here, and so the double backslashes, they already came here. So we have to use two backslashes and then file operations, and we have to give the folder test. Okay, so we will see this if this folder exists or not, and then what we have to do is, okay, instead of file, what I will do is, I'll say tmpdir, okay, temporary directory, and now I have to access the text file also. So file tmp, we'll say tmp file, okay, temporary file equals to new file of. So we have already created the path for this temporary directory. That means the path to this test folder. So what we will do is, we will directly use that. So tmpdir plus, and then we have to give two backslashes and then sample.txt. So what we did was, we have used a file class and we have created an object, and in that object we are passing the path to the folder and also path to the file. So we have created two objects here. One is tmpdir and another one is tmp file, and it is throwing an error here, and the error is, we have to import file here. So let's import file. Okay, so now file is imported. Now let us see if the directory or file exists. If you see this folder file operations, you can see that there is no directory or file. So first let us check that one programmatically. So what we have to do is, if tmp dir dot exists, we will say system.out.println the directory exists. Else we will say system.out.println the directory doesn't exist. Now we will do the same thing for the file also. So what I will do is, I will copy this one and I will say tmp file dot exists, then say that the file exists. Otherwise, say that the file doesn't exist. Okay. So let's run this one. Since the directory and the file doesn't exist, it has to print that the directory doesn't exist and the file doesn't exist. So let's run this one. Run as Java application, and you can see that the directory doesn't exist and the file doesn't exist. So now let us create the directory and the file programmatically. For creating a directory, we have make directory method, and also for creating a file, we have create new file method. So let's create the directory first. So what we'll do is, if we'll say tmp dir dot make dir. That means we are creating a directory using make directory method, and the path we are giving is tmp dir. That means this is the folder that will be created. Then say that system.out.println, the directory is created successfully. The directory test is created successfully. Similarly, let's create the file also. So if emp file dot create new file, then say that system.out.println, the file is created successfully. So let's run this one. So there is a problem here which is saying, okay, so this is a checked exception. That means we have to throw we have to use either throws declaration, or we have to surround it with try and catch. So the easiest one is throws declaration. So let's add this one. So it has added throws IO exception. So now let us run this one. Run as Java application, and you can see that initially the directory and the file, they don't exist, and the directory is created successfully, and then the file is created successfully. So let's see if these are created or not. So if you see this one, the test is created here, and within the test, if you see sample.txt file is created. So that means first we have checked whether the directory and the file exist or not, and when the directory and the file didn't exist, then we are creating a directory using mkdir, which is make directory method, and the second one is create new file method. So we have created a new directory and a sample.txt file. So now let's use another one, which is directory method. That means to check if a file or directory is a directory or not. So what we have to do is, if the first path is tmp dir dot is directory. So if it is a directory, then it says that system.out.println, yes, this is a, we'll say something, yes, test is a directory, and we'll check it for file. If tmp file dot is directory, then say that system.out.println, yes, this is a directory, else say that system.out.println, this is not a directory. So for the test folder, which is tmp in the tmp dir object, so it should print, yes, this is a test. Test is a directory. So for the sample.txt, since this is not a directory, it has to throw that this is not a directory. So let's run this one. Run as Java application, and you can see that the directory exists and the file exists. And since we have already created the directory and the file in the previous run, now it won't run this. That means we want make directory and create new file. These two methods won't be executed because the directory and file are already there. Now it is directly checking test if it is a directory. Yes, test is a directory, that's what it is printing. And the second one is we are checking with sample.txt file, and since that is not a directory, it is printing that this is not a directory. Now let's see another method, which is whether we can read and write to the file which is sample.txt file or not. So for that one we have method can read and can write. So if tmp file dot can read, then print saying yes, we can read the file. And similarly write also, I am just copying this one and I am changing it to tmp file dot can write, yes, we can write to the file. So let's run this one, run as Java application, and it is printing that yes, we can read the file and we can write to the file. So we can use can read and can write methods to check whether a file is readable and writable. Now let us check if the file is hidden or not. Okay, so if tmp file dot is hidden, then say that system.out.println the file is hidden. Otherwise else print that the file is not hidden. So now let's run this one. The file is not hidden, so it should print that the file is not hidden. So let's run this one, run as Java application, and you can see that the file is not hidden. And the next one is let's get the absolute path for the file. So I have to declare another object here because it is getting the path here. So we'll say file path. I will say file path is equal to new file. It's not new file, but what we have to do is we have to take this tmp file dot get absolute path. So it is get absolute path. So get absolute path. So now system.out.println print file path. So let's run this one. It is throwing some error here. Change the type of file path to string. So let's change this one. Okay, so it returns a string here actually. That's why it is saying that instead of file, you have to use string. Okay, that's why we changed that return type to string. And now let's print the string file path. So now let's run this one. Run as Java application. And you can see that the absolute path is derived Selenium course file operations test sample.txt. So another method you can use is get absolute file as well. So for that one, the return type is a file object. So file path 1 equals to tmp file dot get absolute file, and then system.out.println say file path 1. So let's run this one. Run as Java application, and you can see that it is also printing the file path here. So you can use get absolute path or get absolute file, but for get absolute path the return type is a string, and for get absolute file the return type is a file. Okay, a file object. So this is how we can use different methods. We have seen first we have taken some arbitrary some folder where we don't have this test folder, and we are checking whether the directory exists and whether the file exists. And then what we are doing is we are creating the directory and file, and after that we are checking whether that is a directory or file, and then we are checking whether we can read the file and we can write to the file, and also we have checked whether the file is hidden or not. And the next one is we use get absolute path and get absolute file to get the file paths. So these are some of the file or directory operations that we can do in Java. In this video we have seen an example on directory and file path operations. If you want to download the document for this one, you can go to my repository at github.com/subostech and then go to Selenium-Java-tutorials. This particular tutorial starts with 25a. So this is the one. Java file operations part 2 Java file and directory path operations example. You can download this document in In the next video, we will see how to read from a file and how to write to a file using file reader and file writer classes.